All right, so welcome to the dev call for September 2019. Over the past month, there's been a lot going on. One of the primary things was the release of a new OpenBazaar version 2.3.5. That also included a new server release 0.13.5. And there were quite a few smaller things on both the server and client side within that release. On the server side, there was an issue with balances for Zcash within the wallet. That was fixed. There was also an issue with Litecoin addresses that was fixed, but only for people moving forward. There was an issue that it was creating I believe, an invalid Litecoin address, and it would cause problems with people using Litecoin. Moving forward, that problem will not occur. However, for folks who did hit that issue, the update did not solve their existing issue. And I don't know if a solution for that is actually in the works or if that needs to be done manually. Josh or Mike, if you can put in the chat the solution there. Or Josh, yeah.
Yeah, we have a solution being worked on. It should be in the next release.
Okay, great, thank you. Also on the wallet side, in the 2.3.5 release, was changes to the fee calculation. So formerly, some of the numbers were fixed, or they were dynamic but not working correctly. And now I believe all of our coins have dynamic fees. I think Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, and Zcash all were added and were dynamic, and fixed some of the issues of outsized fees that we were seeing. On the server side, there was also an endpoint added to resolve peer IDs into IPNS entries. This continues the work that we've done to speed up resolution of IPNS calls across the network. There were also several small changes made specifically to aid Haven, to aid the server being run on mobile devices. Things like changing the way logging was working to make it easier to get logs from a phone, adding IPv6 bootstrap nodes, changes to allow for a server to restart more easily, and a few things like that. There were some fixes put in for order messaging issues that had been reported. We know that some of these issues still do persist after the 2.3.5 was put out. And we have some ideas on why some of them are happening, but there aren't fixes in yet for all of them. That's sort of an ongoing issue as well. And then on the client side, most of the changes were fairly minor. There was one change that could play a role down the road. The QR code, which formerly was limited in length, was changed so that it could allow for longer addresses. Hopefully, if we get something like Monero integration down the road, then these QR codes will be able to support those longer addresses. That's the 2.3.5 desktop and 13.5 server notes. Anyone on my team have anything from that I've missed?
Well, just to be very specific, the QR codes are still limited. The limit is just larger. And it's a larger size and should be able to hold enough data to cover just about any coin we can imagine integrating.
Gotcha, thank you. All right, so apart from the desktop release, we also have put out, this was only a few days ago, or a week ago, the new Haven release. So I'm sure everyone here is familiar with Haven, which is the OE1 mobile application that allows you to use OpenBazaar on a mobile device. The most recent release is 1.2.4. That has the major stuff. It has a lot of stuff, but the major stuff is the way categories are done have been rebuilt entirely. Listings can now have subcategories, and there's a lot of work around making the categories work better. And the other major thing is push notifications, which previously just didn't exist. They are now in the app, and they also come along with settings to allow people to change your preferences about, what you want or don't want to receive notifications for. Currently, it does not have notifications around activities that are happening within the app, like getting a new order or whatnot. That's what's coming next. And there's other bug fixes as well on the Haven side. And then on the web side, we're at the point now where contracts are being created completely and verified and whatnot. Chat's already done. And then we've just gotten to the point now where a vendor can accept an order from the web. The order process, the order flow is not completed altogether, but the first step in doing that is completed. Josh, is that the most recent that we've gotten on the web stuff?
Yeah, that's accurate. We're just at the very beginning stages of that.
Yeah. Okay. And then otherwise, the things we've been doing apart from the releases that I mentioned and the web work is a significant focus on Ethereum, specifically on the number precision work that's been ongoing for a long time. That's now drawing to a close. And in general, the Ethereum work is getting to the point where we're close to being able to just focus on the testing and get that out as soon as we possibly can. Apart from that, we've put a lot of effort into improving administration tools on our end, both to be able to manage search and manage the social feed within Haven in a way that's more accessible to the broader team. All right, is there anything that we have worked on over the past month from our team that I have not yet discussed? Sounds like no, so I'll move on to what we're doing in the near future. So as I already mentioned, the predominant focus is on Ethereum integration. That is going to be the next release. There was discussion as to whether or not there would be another interim release that had a few server fixes here and there, but we've decided to just go ahead and plow through and get the Ethereum integration done. So the plan for now is that 2.3.6 is going to have the Ethereum integration. On the Haven side, getting more notifications in place that are related to actual events happening within the app, orders and whatnot. And then there's going to be changes to the way social is done. It's going to be integrating a service that it's much more feature rich than what we currently have going on. There's a couple other things going on. I don't think those have been made public yet. A few things that we're working on, but that's the bulk of what we're doing over the next month. And then on the community side, one thing, I don't know if anyone on this call is from this group, but I did want to note that there is another OpenBazaar Explorer that came out, I don't know, a few weeks ago. It's called Block Stamp. It's actually kind of an interesting project because they have their own coin, and what they've done is the Explorer that they run actually allows people to spend their own currency in order to promote listings more highly in their search results. It's kind of an interesting effort. I did put a link to that, along with links to the release notes that I talked about earlier, in the public chat. So if anyone wants to check that out, you can go ahead and read that. From my team, is there anything that you think should be noted that I have not before I open it up for questions or community stuff.
Right, really, the only thing I can think of that we want to mention is that there is a lot of work being done in the infrastructure to improve things like search and the new social tools. People may have noticed that things are a little blunt instrument when it comes to curating the social posts. So those should get a big improvement when we release the new stream-based social post.
Yeah, thank you, Josh. That's a good way to put it. Our current curation process is it's not like using a scalpel, unfortunately, but we're getting closer to that as we move forward. Okay, if anyone has any questions, please either put them in the chat or just jump in on a mic. That's fine. As we're asked if there will be a transcription of this, and yeah, Mike is correct in saying that we just do a recording. If anyone in the community wants to go through and use a tool or manually transcribe these, that'd be great. Reach out to us, and we'll make sure that that's posted along with the notes in the posts that go up. As Mike points out, YouTube's pretty good with their auto captioning stuff, so that's also an option. All right, anyone out there want to take the mic? Anything that you've been working on or any questions that you have?
If anyone else doesn't have anything, I can go. And for those who don't know, I work on Zocos.com, which is a website that allows people to host their stores on OpenBazaar. And right now what we're working on is we provide tools for larger stores, especially to really make the process a lot easier for them. And we kind of focus on people who are coming from other platforms selling online like Shopify, WooCommerce, Etsy, Amazon, etc. And so we had a few releases this month. The first major one we worked on was this bulk product editor. So right now, the biggest store I think we have on Zocos is about 6,000 listings. And one of the issues with getting to a store that size is having to quickly edit thousands of listings at once. So something we put out was basically this ability to kind of edit thousands of listings in a bulk product editor, like an Excel sheet. They can quickly update thousands of listings. Other sites like Shopify use something similar. So we wanted to have something for people who are used to those features. The next major feature, which we worked on this month, and we're going to be working on a lot more over the coming month, are these importers, which basically allow people to export a CSV sheet from whether it's Shopify or eBay or Amazon, etc., and just easily bring it into Zocos. This month we just released the Shopify one, and in the coming month we're going to be working on all the other traditional online platforms. We also open source this code. I'll include a link in the chat for anyone who runs their own OpenBazaar node and wants to import it directly into their own node instead of Zocos. And yeah, that's what we're doing this month. We're just going to be working on more platforms. Right now we have Shopify, and the rest of the month we're working on WooCommerce, PrestaShop, Amazon, and eBay. And that's everything from my side.
Okay, great. Thanks, Rod, for that update. Mike has posted several links to some of the stuff that Rob was just talking about. So if you're interested in learning more about that, go ahead and click through to those. Any other comments or questions from anyone out there? All right. Well, it sounds like a short call this week. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. As always, if you have questions or comments or you're trying to build on OpenBazaar, the best place to contact us is our Slack group. If you go to openbazaar.org, you can find a link to join the Slack, and go ahead and reach out and let us know what's going on. So thanks, everyone. Everyone have a good month, and hopefully we'll see you in Slack.